have to backtrack back to Osex so we can take the train, so we can go back to the what's it called area. Okay. So I was asking the question whether or not you can get to this area without the train. The answer is no, because the only way back up this way would be a key plus this rope here that I just knocked down. Shortcut to Coltrane Peaks, but how am I supposed to grab it? I don't know what he said. I wasn't paying attention. Whatever. So we'll go down and around. We'll get back to Coltrane Peaks, and hooray. But you cannot get here except via the train. Great for me, great for you. So my sister has, you know how we all have, I don't know if we all have comfort foods, but we have foods that we're having a shitty day, you'd like to eat, something that brings you comfort because maybe it reminds you of like being a little kid again. I don't know. Hard to say. My sister's comfort food is macaroni and cheese with cut up hot dog. Okay? So sometimes when my sister's having a shitty day, her husband will make her macaroni and cheese with hot dogs cut up in it. And as silly or as childish as that may sound, I kind of hope that every person listening to this has someone who, if they're having a shitty day, will make, you know, cut up hot dogs and macaroni and cheese for you. Or whatever your comfort food is, you know. Because, you know, that's love. I mean, not the macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. It's kind of gross. I mean, I like mac and cheese. Particularly Kraft mac and cheese, which is sort of like... I decided to make instant noodles for myself. But instead of beef or chicken broth, I used cheese dust. I don't know, whatever's in Kraft macaroni and cheese. I don't know if you can count it as real cheese, like it's hydrated, you know, dehydrated cheese, or if it's just some sort of fake imitation cheese, chemical taste. Certainly not hot dogs. Hot dogs, you can get yourself the most kosher, all beef, no filler bullshit hot dogs. But at the end of the day, you were still eating hot dogs. I'm sorry. Is a good hot dog good on the grill? Yes, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about boiling a hot dog in a pot with water, and then boiling some water to make the macaroni and cheese. And we're going to cut them up into triangles, because if you don't cut them into like thirds or quarters, then, you know, a little kid might eat the hot dog and try and swallow it whole and choke on it because reasons. Any case, I hope everyone has, well, I don't know if everybody's got comfort food, but I kind of hope that everybody has that person in their life that if someone's having a shitty day, that they would, you know, take time out of their day to make, you know, something that makes the other person happy, even if that's not logical. You know, because I don't think, in a way, I think love is illogical. And I'm sort of saying that like I'm fucking Spock from, you know, the original Star Trek, but you know, I mean it in such a way that, you know, why do you love someone? Well, you can rationalize why you love someone, but ultimately it comes down to the fact that love doesn't really make sense. It can, I mean, particularly as you want to probably find someone that you share, you know, viewpoints with, you know. You probably don't want to, you know, marry, if you're a religious person, you probably are not going to want to marry an atheist. If you disagree about how if you should have children, and if you have children, how they should be raised. If you disagree about political stuff, you disagree about, you know, 15 other things, you know, you probably shouldn't marry that person. You probably should find that person that you share a lot of common interests with, and you can at least agree morally on, you know, the important things. Money, religion, maybe not politics, depends on how big you're into politics. If you're really into politics, you either need to find someone who doesn't give two shits about politics, or you need to find someone who shares your political point of view. But regardless of how much political views, how much stuff you agree on, inevitably that person either does not go, he or she either goes too far or not far enough for you. So you're eventually going to have a disagreement, regardless of how little or as much of a party line you both believe in. Okay, Mr. Red Slime, I don't know how many times I have to hit you for you to, like, not fucking be here anymore. Oh, this area seems like a nightmare. Do I really want to do this now? I mean, I can keep doing this till I die, but the real question is, do I want to keep going if the first jump is giving me trouble? I mean, look at this. This is some horse shit. I mean, I'm doing pretty good here platforming, but like, this guy pissed me the fuck off. Alright, I didn't jump that time. Oh, all the way back to the beginning? All the way back to the beginning. Why don't you just put me at the front door while you're at it? Oh, I'm getting pissy now. Anyways, not talking about that. What was I talking about before? I got distracted by just unended hatred right now. I like the little Minas that are popping up now. I mean, they're not actually like, you know, they're throwing a weapon that I don't have access to. Like, even as a sub-weapon. Throwing little shurikens at me. Alright, I gotta go around, I guess. Oh. That's thin ice, I guess. Fine. Oh, good. Enemies are not affected by the ice. The thin ice is not affected Apparently Midna's super fat, and the enemies don't weigh anything because... Alright, we did it. Aren't we cool? Have to know, right, Chris? Gotta know what's in the thing. 50 bones. 50 bones was what in there was in there. One blue clump. One blue clump. And I didn't get that bone. So, what? Where's Chung Padawan? Time it takes, yes. Hello. Ooh, train tracks. I slide on like I'm shredding. I'm shredding the track. Look how cool I am. Nice. That's a cool mechanic. I'm gonna use it to shred. Also, shortcut. Nice. That's a shortcut. No, yes. Bleep. I didn't expect that to actually work. I thought it was going to be like, no, no. Alright. So even if I die, I'm on the right track. Huh? Huh? I'm on the right track. Such a bad joke. Cool. Cool. Teleport our ass back there. Get our stuff back. Because I kind of need to do that. I need to get my spark back. In case I die a couple more times. I don't have... I mean, I do. I think I have this... Oopsie! Threw myself off the side of the mountain there. I was gonna say... I may need that extra spark. Cool. I'll pull our ass back here. I like these little like pretend Midnas. Because they're pretending to be me, but they're not nearly as cool. They're kind of like rat Midnas, if you will. Because I'm cute. I'm like a cute little mousy character. And they're disgusting undead rats. Because I very much like for you to die. Thanks. Can you also die? No, not today. Maybe in a second though. Maybe I ignore that you exist and I just go by. Yeah, just stand on the spikes. That seems fair. Well, I went all of about one square over from where I originally was. I was walking along, you know, when I decided, you know, the best place to hit, best thing to do, of course, is to, what I could do is just, you know, everybody just go. Yeah, I don't care about that. I'll get that later. That kind of reminds me of... I know the obvious one would be lava, but first time I saw him I was like, this kind of reminds me of like tomato soup, you know? Little soup guy. Oh, there you. Try to summon ice spikes on me. What the hell? Yeah, could be illegal. Also, I found the next thing, the next hidey hole for myself. We begged her to hit the brakes, but she grinned and rang the bell. Set up, I guess. Guess this was the other train person. Not my train, but an ancient train. Why there's tracks here or something, I don't know. I mean, we knew there was a train before, but it disappeared or got wrecked or something, so we had to make a new train. But I guess these are people, spirits telling me like what happened. Also, this music's fucking awesome. I mean, like, you know, Undertale, Toby, awesome, but like, pretty good. Like the kind of music you would write home about and be like, man, this was really good music. But also, the flying Medusa head knives, not appreciated. I do not appreciate flying Medusa head knives. I like the reflect here. Do this reflection. But look at you, sauntering around alive and well, not a care in the world, here to mock me, I see. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Can I help you anyway? Help, every moment of agony for me. I'm beyond saving. I never meant to hurt you, I swear. I just find a way out of your suffering. A way out? How dare you? You have known nothing about suffering. So I guess we're gonna fight Marin. He's a wandering spirit, I guess. Alright, you kind of remind me of nothing. I was gonna say you remind me of some sort of ghoul. Not a ghoul, like a ghost from like a Zelda game, but now I'm not so certain. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm not sure what it's from. But then it moves and then it moves the second time. Doing a pretty shit job too. Look at this health management. I mean, I know I've got like 7 more flasks to use, but I kind of wish I was a little bit farther along in this boss battle before I had to start using them. Because there's going to be another mode here, I'm sure, and I don't really want to deal with mode 2 with no flask. But that was a pretty good one. That was a good dodge. I guess I haven't mentioned this yet, but I have to. One of the things that I probably should have said earlier on is I really appreciate the fact that they made Mina and not Shovel Knight 2 as their follow-up game to Shovel Knight, because a lot of people would, when they have a successful game like a Shovel Knight, the first thing they would do is go back and try and do like a sequel when they have no idea what they want to do with the sequel. You know? Like if you're I don't know if anyone knows what I've talked about the original Mario 2 before that came out in Japan. That was sort of just like a light Kaizo Mario. Well, I say a light Kaizo Mario because we've decided that the people who love Mario and its mechanics, you know, they don't like their games to be easy. They want their games to be downright impossible to play, because otherwise, why would they have learned all of these like exploits to use in Super Mario World or 64 or the original? You know, why would we spend half a lifetime playing a single video game if you're not going to create an impossible platformer like a Kaizo Mario? Anyhow, I forgot what I was. Oh, yeah. So when they made Mario 2, it was just sort of like, we'll take Mario 1 and we'll just make it way harder. but we're not really going to give you too much more of interest until you get to Mario 3, where we're going to have a completely new game to design, you know, with a new storyline, you know, new everything, you know. It's not just simply like, oh no, Princess Peach got captured. Oh, she's in another castle. Better go rescue her. No, it's kind of like Princess Peach isn't actually captured until after you complete World 7. And you're trying to rescue the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom and its other monarchs of the different lands. But like a lot of small developers, that it feels like that would be your obvious go-to is like, okay, you know, you made Shovel Knight. So when you know, you just finished playing Shovel Knight, okay? And we're talking, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the game comes out, and it's a big, humongous hit. And the first question all the fans ask is, when's Shovel Knight 2 coming out? And you're just like, we haven't even fucking thought about that yet, let alone the fact that Shovel Knight had all kinds of DLC promises that they had to meet because of their Kickstarter backing and shit that they hadn't even started to work on yet, you know? So, yeah, that game was going to be in development for at least another year with all of the different backer promises that were going to happen. But again, getting to my point, I'm glad you sat down and you said, okay, we did our Shovel Knight. Before we even think about doing a Shovel Knight 2, or while Shovel Knight 2 is in development, you know, let's create this other game. You know, a game that's completely unrelated to Shovel Knight and, you know, is someone else's brainchild, and let them have some fun with this. And if this doesn't work out, well, we have Shovel Knight 2 maybe as a backup later on down the road to remake money, you know what I mean? But let's try something new, something that, you know, we've worked on, that gives us a second franchise as a company. Something that, you know, the fans can, you know, if we don't have a Shovel Knight in the fucking oven, we can talk about something else. Now, if they ever put out a Shovel Knight 2, you're not going to see me disappointed. Not that I really cared for Shovel Knight in the first place, but, you know, you get my point. You know, a company like Yacht Club not having to rely on, you know, be a one-note team. Oh, you're the team that makes the Halos. You're the one that makes the Call of Duties, the Maddens, you know. When are you going to make the next Madden game? It's like, okay, great. Give me something new. Give me something interesting. Give me something that maybe you came up with. I understand this game isn't exactly original, but it's a combination of like a love letter, like 5 different games all mashed together into one, which kind of makes it unique in its own right. It's fun. You know, that's sort of the bottom line when you make a game. Make it fun. You know, give us something interesting and new to talk about or look at or play with. You know, I don't necessarily want to play Shovel Knight 2 right now. Maybe in 2-3 more years, maybe, yeah, we're all gotten big fucking boners for another Shovel Knight game, you know? You know? And no, you don't have to wait a fucking 2 decades to put out another Skyrim. I mean, Elder Scrolls. You know, because you just keep porting it to every game and people keep buying it like a bunch of crazy people, we'll just say. I don't want to offend any individual group here, but, you know, a bunch of fucking nut jobs is what you are. How do you buy Skyrim so many times? I had Skyrim on the fucking 360, and now they're being forced to make Skyrim, or keeps going Skyrim because it's basically the only game that people talk about. You had Morrowind before it, okay. And then all of a sudden everything just became Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Skyrim. And, you know, I don't know. You have to make a sequel to Skyrim? No. You have to make an Elder Scrolls 6? No. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Okay? But, that being said, you know, either give me something that I want or give me something new to chew on. Think about Skyrim or Elder Scrolls or any of those games is, I think half the fun of those games for certain people is taking the game, particularly as it is sort of like a sandbox thing, and just seeing how hard they can hit it, how hard they can hit their new toy with a hammer and break it into as many tiny pieces as possible, and then build it back together like it's some sort of Lego creation, and it's designed for you to use your imagination. No, let's see how bad I can break the game. Oh, what do you mean that the boundary box here isn't fully wasn't fully coded, so I'm able to slip in between the geometry to completely skip 80% of the video game. Instead of people being like, oh man, that's a disappointment. You know, no, they're like, oh, give me more, give me more. Oh, my penis is so hard right now. You know, I'm not even talking about people who, you know, are game testers that love that kind of shit, finding bugs and seeing how far they can push the bug. You know, because the developer or the play testers didn't have either enough time to, or didn't play test it well enough to catch the thing that, you know, an amateur bug tester was able to find in the game. That was dumb. Get the treasure chest. Alright, whatever. Clearly can't go that way, so I'll have to go this way. I am smart. Because I ate my bone flakes this morning, that's why. That appears to be a shortcut, Chris. Part of the rescue team. Something, something, don't care. You're a ghost. Hello, Mr. Snowman. I clearly didn't come this way, otherwise you'd be dead already. He fell down, Boom. Alright, hooray for me. Okay, not hooray for me. Hooray now? Hooray now. Bone crystal. Well, that was kind of worth it, I guess. Bone crystals are nice, but... Oh, hurrah! The thing that uses a key. Must be something good back here. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Probably not. Sometimes these keys have been a big disappointment for me. Hello. Oh, brave Hollower, I've spotted a rare artifact trapped beneath the ice of the river. Path is treacherous, could you lend me a hand? Yes, marvelous. Follow me carefully into the ice. Must be swift if we are to... something, I don't know. Oh, I see, he has to... Alright, I guess I have to pop his ass out of the thing now. He kind of looks like a Muppet. A very unhappy Muppet. Like even more unhappy than Bert. Ew, that was a close shave. Gratitude, I'm extending you an exclusive something. Would you like to look in my shop? Earn extra bones for defeating a foe unharmed. As judged worthily by the eye. Yeah, he's something. I don't know what you are. And I will buy my key back. Featured big spender. I must spend too much money. Alright. The rest of that's just repeats. Alright, fair enough. Originally I thought he was like an owl, but I don't think he's an owl. He's some combination of like a Muppet. Alright, straight to the pit. This is gonna be a thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Never mind. I withdraw my criticism.